Hello everyone and welcome back to Aspiration. I'm your host and today is 30th March 2026. Today, we are diving deep into a very important editorial regarding the modified UDAN scheme. Whether you are preparing for SBI PO, SSC CGL or UPSC, this analysis will help you master both current affairs and English comprehension. Let's get started. Before we read, let's arm ourselves with the power words from today's text. Revive, verb. Meaning to bring back to life, consciousness, or activity. Synonyms: resuscitate, rejuvenate, restore, invigorate. Antonyms: destroy, ruin, suppress, depress. Next word is outlay, noun. Meaning, an amount of money spent on something. Synonyms: expenditure, expenses, disbursement, spending. Antonyms: income, revenue, earnings, receipts. Another is viable, adjective. Meaning, capable of working successfully, feasible. Synonyms: feasible, practical, workable, sustainable. Antonyms: impossible, unachievable, impractical, hopeless. Next, levy, verb. Meaning, to impose or collect a tax, fee, or fine. Synonyms: impose, charge, exact, demand. Antonyms: remit, refund, revoke, waive. Next is fragile, adjective. Meaning, easily broken or damaged, vulnerable. Synonyms: weak, delicate, vulnerable, flimsy. Antonyms: robust, strong, resilient, sturdy. Unyieldingly, adverb. Meaning, in a manner that does not give way to pressure, inflexibly or stubbornly. Synonyms: stubbornly, resolutely, rigidly, obstinately. Antonyms: flexibly, pliantly, yieldingly, compliantly. Inexplicable, adjective. Meaning, unable to be explained or accounted for. Synonyms: baffling, incomprehensible, mystifying, puzzling. Antonyms: understandable, comprehensible, clear, explainable. Nurture, verb. Meaning, to care for and encourage the growth or development of someone or something. Synonyms: foster, cultivate, support, nourish. Antonyms: neglect, abandon, hinder, deprive. Cultivate, verb. Meaning, to try to acquire or develop a quality, sentiment, or skill to foster the growth of. Synonyms: develop, foster, promote, encourage. Antonyms: neglect, destroy, ignore, stifle. Last word is sustained, adjective. Meaning, continuing for an extended period or without interruption. Synonyms: continuous, prolonged, persistent, uninterrupted. Antonyms: interrupted, sporadic, brief, fleeting. Now, for the grammar buffs. Our idioms today include: in a bid to, making an effort. Last mile connectivity, reaching the very final destination. Stand on its own, being independent. Our phrasal verbs are crucial. Sign off on, to officially approve. Set aside, to reserve money or time. Carry over, to move a problem from the past to the future. Mastering these will give you an edge in the error detection section. Now we are moving to the reading part. In a bid to revive the regional aviation sector, the Union Cabinet has signed off on a modified UDAN scheme with a six-fold higher outlay. The scheme had first been launched to expand aviation to interior areas using scheduled commuter airlines. Even then, industry analysts and experts had complained that UDAN did not make a viable business case for small regional airlines due to a lack of supporting infrastructure, low or unpredictable passenger demand, insufficient coverage of operating costs, and lack of awareness. In modified UDAN, The subsidy period for Tier 2 and Tier 3 routes has been increased from 3 years to 5 years, an extension at least one of the small carriers had sought under UDAN before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The Exchequer will also fund the subsidies directly rather than having airlines levy an additional charge from passengers, with the government setting aside 10,043 crore rupees over the next decade to this end. The government will also spend 12,159 crore rupees to redevelop 100 unused airstrips, 3,661 crore rupees to build 200 helipads in remote areas, and purchase aircraft and helicopters for state carriers to boost last-mile connectivity to better match the mode of transport to actual demand and geography. The scheme will also pay for ongoing costs such as staffing and maintenance of low-traffic airports. Regional aviation in India is structurally fragile and unlikely to become widely self-sustaining due to the unyieldingly high cost per passenger, price sensitivity, competition from rail and road transport, and operational inefficiencies. UDAN did not address them adequately and, sadly, modified UDAN carries that failing over. The foremost one is weak underlying demand, with UDAN often picking routes with insufficient economic activity even as leisure and occasional travel could not sustain regular flights. Extending the subsidies, even if they are eased from the third year onwards, could keep routes alive for longer but will not of itself create demand. In this sense, the government's reluctance to revisit how it identifies and nurtures routes, and how different transport modes might substitute for air travel in low-density regions, seems inexplicable. The emphasis on last-mile connectivity and better planning also appears only partially incorporated, as the details the Civil Aviation Ministry shared did not mention ground transport links or integrated scheduling, among others. Whether the decision to sustain connectivity using sustained government support, rather than cultivate a market that can stand on its own, will lead to lasting changes depends on whether route selection and integration with broader transport and economic networks improve in practice. The summary for that passage. First is, the goal. The government is spending a lot of money on a modified UDAN plan to improve air travel to smaller cities and remote areas in India. Second is, the past problem. The original plan struggled because small airlines couldn't make a profit. Running flights is expensive, and there simply weren't enough passengers buying tickets in these areas. Third is, the government's new solution. To fix this, the government is extending financial help, subsidies, to airlines from 3 years to 5 years. They are also paying to repair old airports, build helipads, and even buy aircraft. The catch, authors view. The author believes this new plan will likely still fail. While the government's money will keep these flights running for a while, it doesn't solve the root problem, low passenger demand. Once the financial help stops, the airlines will likely struggle to survive on their own because people in these areas often prefer cheaper travel options like trains or buses. That's it for today's session. I hope this helps you understand the nuances of the aviation sector and boosts your vocabulary. If you found this useful, hit that subscribe button for Aspiration and turn on the bell icon.